Hello?
Craig, are you over the team?
Yep.
Can I get your pronouns, please?
Yeah, I don't do the pronoun thing, but if I were to like play along with the game and lie, I'd probably say do like the he him thing.
Well, if you're gonna lie,
Okay.
should they call you she her since you lied about he
Sh-
him?
Yeah, sure. Whatever makes you guys, whatever floats your boat. You can call me whatever you want. I really don't care.
Cool, she her it is.
Cool.
Are you a
Perfect.
believer of a God?
Yep.
Which one?
The Christian God, the one
Okay.
who says he created male and female, that God.
So, do you believe your God is all good?
Yeah.
Do you believe your God is all knowing?
Yep.
So, would he know women's anatomy?
Sorry.
So, would he know women's anatomy?
Would he know? Yeah, he created it.
Okay. Um, Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21. Do you know what it says?
Is it about grape or is it about abortion?
Neither.
Okay, go for it.
So, Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21 says, if a man marries a woman, goes into her, and is displeased with her, he can go to the council and say, well, when I went into this woman, I did not find proof of her virginity. So, the mother and the father of the woman are to go grab the cloth that they laid on and bring it to the council. If there is blood on it, then the man is fined 100 shekels, presented to the father, and must remain married to her for the rest of his life. Now, if there's not blood on it, she gets taken out to in front of her father's house, and she is stoned to unalivement.
Okay.
So what makes a woman bleed their first time they have intercourse?
Is there a virgin?
If they're a virgin,
Eh,
yeah.
Yeah, but what makes them bleed? Like, what causes the blood?
Oh, intercourse?
Yeah, but what happens to a woman to cause the blood to, like, appear? It's not magic. Like, where does it come from?
What are you guys getting at? Like, I'm
What
confused.
It's
happens
called
to
a
a
hymen.
woman? Well, there
What-
you go. Thank
Do you know what a
Two people were,
hymen is?
yeah, two people were talking at once, so I missed
Yeah,
what was said.
it's a hymen. Do you know what a hymen is?
Sure.
What is it?
It's a girly thing that makes them bleed. And once that's broken, then they're no longer a virgin.
No, because the hymen breaks on a lot more than just intercourse. Um, the hymen can be broken by falling out of a tree, falling down the stairs, picking up heavy objects, riding a horse, riding a donkey, um, riding a bike, doing house chores. It's a million different things that could break it, not just necessarily intercourse. Um,
Not only that, it doesn't always break the first time you have intercourse. We even see things in the Talmud called diverting, where they figured out techniques where they could cause it to not break even if it was still intact, so that, they could save a woman's virginity for later.
Okay.
So I think what Ace is getting at here is if your God is all good, and the test that they give to determine whether or not a woman is a virgin on her wedding night is blood on the sheet. But we know that a woman can have her hymen broken there before her wedding for things that aren't sexual. We know that hymens don't always break the first time. Some women are born without hymens. If this is a really bad test, like, we have data that suggests today that less than 50% of women's hymen break the first time they even have sex, or at least they bleed the first time. If God is all good, then why would he command someone to stone women just because they don't bleed the first time they do the deed when we know that's a bad test and it's not reliable?
Well, I would say a couple of things. One, I would imagine you're talking about a pretty rare instance. I mean, sure, someone could fall and that could happen.
No,
But how
less than
often
50% of
is,
46%,
women.
yeah,
46% of women bleed their first time. 54% of women do not.
okay.
Whether
So,
that's from the hymen being disrupted previously, the hymen not, breaking during the first time they have intercourse, or from just a lack of a hymen in general, roughly 50% of women don't bleed the first time that they have intercourse. So that means 50% of the women in this instance who are accused of not being virgins, at a minimum, would be innocent.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look way into like the study of all this stuff. I mean, you guys are saying what you're saying. I don't really know exactly if
I
everything
mean,
you're saying is 100% true.
it's a
Um,
standalone law in Deuteronomy, and I'd be happy to read it to you word for word. It's only like 4 verses.
no, that's fine. But I think part of it is um, protecting women from slander. That's one part of it. You
How
mentioned
would
that they
this
were going to
protect them
be,
from slander?
so if they were to lie, they were fined the 100 shekels of
The
silver.
man, yes, the man
Yes,
would be.
right,
To her father, by the way. And then he's not allowed to divorce the woman. Like, he lies about her
right,
because he doesn't like her. Then they see that she bled on the sheet. That's only if she bleeds on the sheet. He has to pay the
right.
father 100 shekels as payment for slander.
Okay. So if he's slandering her rather than her going out and getting stoned, there's going to be a recompense against the
No,
man. So that's part of it. Um,
if the woman gets stoned, there's no recompense.
well, she wouldn't if the man was
Oh, yeah, if there's blood on the
lying
sheet,
about
but
it.
if there is no blood on the sheet, then she does.
Yeah, well, look, my guess would be that there would be other people there that would say, look, this is my daughter. She's bled before. And if they knew that this was a law, they could tell people this
First of
before it
all,
happened. But if a woman never bled ever before and they go into this situation, then probably more often than not, these women were potentially lying about what was going on. And it was
hey
probably a
Craig,
law that was
hey
like an
Craig,
obscure law
hey,
that wasn't like happening all
hey
the time and
Craig,
women are constantly getting
Hey,
stoned.
Craig,
Craig.
hold on 1 second.
So the funny thing is, you say if they had bled before, but most women mistake their hymen breaking as just one of their periods, and that they just started their period, right?
Okay.
So they wouldn't
So
necessarily
they wouldn't
know.
have any knowledge.
Well, I'm just saying
They
if you
wouldn't.
guys are giving the examples of like a person could fall down, all these sorts of things, that would be noted and documented. And the person's father would be like, hey, by the way, this is the hymen's broke before because of this, or
Well,
there's been this period before, and so there's a chance that there's going to be blood.
but
I don't
Craig,
think this is just an opportunity to go around stoning
but
women who are not virgins.
but Craig, well, that's exactly what it is. But not only that, you could be riding a donkey, which they rode often. That, like, I know girl, because I grew up around, like, farms and horses and stuff. I know women who confirm their hymens broke from riding a donkey, but you don't always know. Sometimes you can just be riding a donkey, but oh, I just got my period, is what it is. You may not know that your hymen broke. They had no way to tell that. They didn't even know what a hymen was back then. They're just using strictly blood as a test. But not only that, like, again, it's not a good test because some women just don't bleed the first time they do it, even with an intact hymen. And so the second part of the problem we get to is, A, this isn't a good test. Like, the only thing that God tells you that tests for whether or not this woman is a virgin is the blood on the sheet. But the other problem past that is, if the man is a liar, he gets fined 100 shekels. If the woman is a liar, she gets stoned. It's not like her dad has to pay extra money to the guy for selling him a daughter that wasn't a virgin, and now she's just, a disgraced woman of Israel. No, they take her out back and they throw rocks at her until she's not living anymore.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know how you like read any part of this, whether or not the test is bad or just the punishment itself is bad, and think, no, I know God said this is a good, perfect, and loving law, but I agree with him. This sounds really good and perfect and good to me.
Yeah. So obviously that's not happening anymore. It was done specifically in Israel. There had to have been a reason for it other than just because if it was like this universal eternal law, we'd still have Christians doing these sorts of things today.
Well, the
And
Bible
so,
tells you it's eternal.
well, then why did Jesus not uphold
He did.
it? So when the woman was caught in adultery, what happened?
Well, that was added in the fifth century, and not only that, the reason he said, "Let he who has the first stone, no sin cast the first stone," is because there was no man there to accuse her, and in order to
No,
justly,
it was all men that were
no,
there.
there, but the person that she committed adultery with wasn't that there was no accuser there. That's why he said that
Well,
because
then
he
why did
knew
he
that
say
they
that
were breaking the law.
why did he say that I no longer condemn you? Or then I don't condemn you.
Because he can't condemn her without someone there to accuse her. There was no
Yeah,
accuser.
but he's
It was a
God.
farcical trial. It was a kangaroo court. It doesn't matter. He was trying to prove to the Pharisees that they were holding a kangaroo court and they weren't following the law. That's what Jesus got mad about the Pharisees over and over and over again, is that they weren't following the law. This is another example of that, where they wanted to unjustly stone a woman who did not have her accuser present.
That's
And
not the
Jesus is
reason
saying,
why.
yes, it is.
No,
If you
it's
read it, because he
yeah.
says there's no one here to accuse her.
Then why does Jesus say what if a person falls into what a well on the Sabbath and they would say, well, you can't work and you can't save that person, but Jesus is saying, no, you can save that person because they didn't understand the spirit of the law. They were obsessed with the letter of the law. Jesus wasn't upset with the Pharisees because they were
Yeah,
keeping the law. It was that he was being upset that they were being pedantic about the
no,
law and
he was
missing
he
the
was
idea of the law.
he was
That's what it
upset.
was.
He was upset that they were following the oral tradition more than they were following the law itself. Not only that, we
No, that's
have
not true.
yes, it is true, and I can give you the verse in just a second. As soon as I lay my daughter down, that tells you exactly that. But no, he was mad. It wasn't that they were being too pedantic about the law; it's that they weren't following the law. And even in this time, we know that the Pharisees wouldn't have been doing this whole like, well, if someone's in a well, we just can't get them out. They're just going to have to unalive in that well. Because we have writings from the Talmud that talk about a concept, and I can't remember the name of it. I've got some friends on here that I could ask. I just can't remember the name of the concept from the Talmud, where it's literally like it's the reason that Jesus wasn't sinning when he picked the grain to eat it, because you could do things to sustain life. If something was going to cause someone to unalive on the Sabbath, you could do something to prevent that. That was okay. Like the Jews and the Pharisees at that time understood that concept. So whoever's writing this gospel is just being disingenuous to the Pharisees because they're writing, an anti-Semitic book. But not only that, again, Jesus
No,
condemned them for
not
not
true.
following the law. It is true.
No, it's not an anti-Semitic book, dude.
It
It's
is.
not. It's
So
not.
why does Jesus tell them that they don't? When he says, "Doesn't your law say?" It doesn't include himself in the law because he's a Jew. He should have. It should have been our law or the law, not your
Yeah,
law.
because they were corrupting the law. That's why.
No, then
And
he
it's
quoted
anything
the
but
Torah.
It's anything but anti-Semitic. I can tell you that. You think Christianity is anti-Semitic? You
The
think Jesus
Gospels
was
are, yeah.
anti-Semitic? Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, this feels a little bit like we're not going to be able to even have this tiniest bit of common ground if we're going to say the Gospels are anti-Semitic. I mean, God,
I mean, if that's
not
the
really
one
sure
thing
we
you
can
want to
get.
get hung up on to not continue to talk about Deuteronomy 22, you're welcome to. But
Yeah, well, I mean if that's like the spirit of the belief in this group, like then we're not going to get like the Deuteronomy stuff. We're certainly not going to come to any agreement on. If the entire Gospels are just one big anti-Semitic group, like now we're in a whole nother.
I didn't say the entirety of the Gospels, specifically John.
Okay, you said the Gospels are anti-Semitic,
Well,
correct?
specifically John.
So,
Specifically John.
so not all the Gospels. Just so I'm clear.
Matthew is a little bit. The beginning with the whole thing about Herod and stuff, it's a little because that never happened. So Matthew has some tropes in there that aren't great. But yeah, specifically John. But again,
But
that's irrelevant to the point of
well, I'm just saying
Jesus.
it's going to be hard to like, dude, get anywhere. I mean, it's like when I'm talking to some people, like some people be like, Jesus never existed, and it's like, well, I can't even get anywhere with that
Well,
person. It's
we're
going to
not
be
talking
like,
about that.
no, I know, but it's similar when you say things like the Gospels are anti-Semitic.
I
Now
said the
we're in like
Gospels say
kind
an
of
anti-Semitic thing
no,
when they
you
try to
didn't.
paint when Jesus tries to point the Jews as being a separate class from himself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. So just one more time, and you can answer it. Are the Gospels anti-Semitic?
I already clarified the Gospel of John is, and the Book of Matthew has some anti-Semitic tropes when it says all the stuff about Herod. Yeah,
Okay, so Luke and
and
Matthew are not anti-Semitic at all.
I said Matthew was.
No, Mark and Luke.
Mark, yeah, no,
Mark and Luke are
I
not
don't think
anti-Semitic.
so. I mean, but anytime it says like when Jesus says your law or like your traditions and all these things, it's specifically trying to separate Jesus from the Jewish people and the Jewish tradition.
Okay, it just simple, it's really like yes or no. I mean, are the
I mean,
Gospels
Ace, am I wrong?
anti-Semitic?
Did I answer the question?
You answered the
Well,
question because Adam
you're
can't
answering,
fully
but then
say
you're kind of
yes or
adding, and
Hold
then you're
on,
no.
not
hold on,
yes or
Craig,
no.
Craig, don't talk over people.
Yeah, I know. If you guys want to kick me, you can. But like that's what I've heard. That
Why
the
would you jump
Gospels are
straight to being kicked? I
anti-Semitic.
was just telling you not to talk over people.
Yeah, but if I have a
It's
point that
very
I
it's
want to
very
make,
rude to
I'll
talk over
make.
people during a conversation, Craig. You shouldn't do that.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Well, I'll keep doing it, and if someone wants to kick me, then I guess they'll think I'm rude. So if people are saying that the Gospels are anti-Semitic, then we're not. There's going to be like zero common ground we're going to get on Deuteronomy. That's my point.
Well, the Gospels have nothing to do with Deuteronomy, so I don't know why you keep pivoting.
Well, that's going to be your worldview. Like, I'd be more concerned about like addressing that than a passage in Deuteronomy. And if that's going to be like the spirit again of like the conversation, then it's going to be like me
It's
trying to
not. That
argue
has nothing
somebody
to do with
who has.
Deuteronomy. That has nothing to do with Deuteronomy.
Well, I mean, but you brought it up in this conversation, and so like I'm noticing something, and I'm like, okay, well maybe it's not going to be a fruitful conversation. That's my whole point. And to like argue and to interrupt and like nobody gets anywhere, it doesn't help anybody. So if we're going to be that far like on completely other sides of the world, it may just not be worth a conversation. Is my point.
So Deuteronomy.
So the Gospels are anti-Semitic.
I already answered this question. You can keep avoiding Deuteronomy and
But you
keep going
didn't.
through it if you want. I did. What was my answer?
Well, your answer was yes, they are, and then we'll actually all of John is and Mark is, and
No,
yeah, the
and
rest
parts
of
of
them
Matthew.
and parts of Matthew, and yeah, they are. That's kind of how
Yeah,
you left it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they are.
I gave you my answer. John at the beginning of Matthew. Yes, they are.
Okay, so then Luke and Mark
I
are
said
not
no.
anti-Semitic.
I
Okay,
said no.
okay. I thought I
Like
heard you.
I said no.
I thought I
Now
heard you say yeah,
Deuteronomy. Now
parts
go
of it.
back to Deuteronomy. How is
Okay,
Deuteronomy good again?
yeah. So I would just say that if I were to break it down, I would say that at the time, Israel was a small group of people that God was trying to preserve. And so, therefore, there's going to be laws that are done there that might to us seem insane, but to the time to keep the people in line, that's why they had these certain specific laws. And part of it was to protect against the malicious husbands that might be trying to ruin a woman's reputation and all these sorts of things. And yes, is it equal weights and measures? One gets stoned and the other one doesn't. I would say
Wait, how
no.
does this protect against a malicious husband if the malicious husband has to stay married to the woman forever after he makes a false accusation? That doesn't
Yeah.
protect the woman. That makes her have to live with her accuser for the rest of her life. That
Well, it
doesn't
would
protect
say
her
that.
from it.
Well, it would say that the husband is falsely is
Yeah.
slandered his bride.
And now
Okay,
she has to live with him.
he's whipped, and then he's
No,
fined
he's
an
not. No,
enormous
he's
sum.
not. Where does it
Yes,
say
he
that?
is.
Where does it
Yes,
say
he
that?
is.
Where does it say that?
It
That
says he's
was
fined a
hold on.
hundred shekels.
Okay,
You're adding to the text. It doesn't say that at all.
let me check 1 second.
I've got it right here. The elders shall take the elders of that town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father because he has slandered the Virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife. He shall not be permitted to divorce her for as long as he lives. It doesn't say anything about beating him or
All
whipping
right,
him.
Deuteronomy 22:18.
19 is the passage that you're
13:51.
looking for. Yeah,
I
18 and
always
I
say
Deuteronomy,
remember
go
the
to
passages, but
Deuteronomy 2018
no,
is talking
22,
about. Yeah,
22.
I'm sorry.
22.
22.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 22:18.
Well, you can start there for the punishment for the man, sure, yeah.
Right, and it's talking about lashings and
No, it's
whippings.
not. Where does it say that?
Where
So when it says chastise or punish, what that means
Okay.
is a
What's
physical whipping.
No, it tells you what the punishment is in the next verse.
Well, it's both.
It's not.
It's
You're
it's a
adding to it.
no.
You're just saying this is what they would do, but it doesn't say
What
that. It tells you the punishment.
then? Let's look up what Deuteronomy 22:18 would say. Can we do a? Can I look this up? Can we look
I'll
this
look it
up
up in Hebrew
separately?
because I know you don't read Hebrew. So,
It's correct. I don't read Hebrew.
yeah. So let me look it up.
you notice the semicolon instead of just a apostrophe?
So it says that then the elders of that city shall take the man and whip him, and they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give them to the father of the young
Where are you
woman.
reading
Where
that?
what version are
Twenty-two
you reading?
eighteen, 22:18 off
What version
ESV,
what version
ESV,
are you
The
ESV,
ESV.
ESV, ESV.
what
Yeah, the Hebrew doesn't say
what
that.
ESV?
So I'm reading the ESV. I'm just going to read it word for word for you guys. Then the elders of that city shall take the man and whip him, and they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give them to the father of the young woman. So it's not his own dad; it's the father of the young woman, because he has
Yeah.
brought a bad name upon a virgin of Israel,
Yeah.
and he
I know.
shall be his wife. And he may not divorce her all days. So to say he doesn't get whipped, obviously he does, and that's fine. You guys learned something.
No,
That's
the
Where
word
okay.
is
did it say that?
Viesaru. The word is Viesaru. The ESV is just an updated version of the KJV. They've mistranslated it. Viesaru doesn't say that. Viesaru just means to chastise or to punish. It doesn't like they're just adding in the whipping part to try to make it more
All
fanciful, but
right.
it
So
doesn't
so
say
I'm
that.
looking up right now. It says the Hebrew word yasar, right? Yasar. In ancient Hebrew legal terminology, yasar does not mean a verbal warning. It means a discipline or
Yeah.
correct via bodily chastisement, which is also known as flogging. So that's what it means. That's what I'm reading right here. What the Hebrew yasar means: a bodily chastisement.
I mean, I'm looking. Where do you what source are you looking at for that? Because I'm looking at the BDB and it doesn't say that.
I mean, I just googled what does yasar
Yes. So,
mean
and
in
what's their
Hebrew.
source?
Um, Let me check.
Because I'm looking. Discipline chastise. So this is based on the Browns driver Briggs to be disciplined or corrected or to chasten. But then it tells you how they're doing it in the next verse by finding him. And even if they do whip him, they're not stoning him. What's it matter?
Sure. Well, yeah. You guys care about what the text says?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Browns driver Briggs translation right now.
Yeah, and I'm so chastise. I mean, does that not mean to whip?
No,
No. I will read
Because
the definition of it.
I use the
Uh,
NRSVUE and it just says punish him with a semicolon and then it gives the
Well, the
punishment.
NRSVU, I don't trust that. So,
so you trust the ESV? Why?
well, because the NRSV changes genders around, which is obviously stupid.
Yeah, but why do you trust the ESV?
Well, because it doesn't do the gender thing, which I know you
Yeah,
guys were really into, but like
but it
that's
says other things that are just blatant, patently false.
okay. Well, it doesn't at least get
Where does the
God
NR
wrong as a
wait,
he. So,
wait. When does the NRSVUE change genders around? I use the
well,
updated edition, not just the NRSV.
okay. So here's what I just Googled this. Okay, it says in Hebrew, yes, are usually refers to discipline, chastisement, or instruction. Depending on the exact spelling, the word can be a physical. It can be mean to physically shape or make straight. Um, So I don't know. I mean,
I don't either.
well, to physically shape or to make straight, it sounds like it's there's a beating that goes along with it.
Because you're looking. Okay.
Okay,
Can they
so
physically make him straight?
well,
What
it
does that
would mean
even
to like
mean?
make them like whip. When you whip someone, they straighten up. I mean, that's usually how it works.
Yeah, I mean the
So
BDB to discipline, chasten, or admonish.
okay,
Do you know the definition of chastise, Greg?
yeah, I do.
What is it?
Uh, it means to discipline, and typically in a physical sense of the word.
No.
Okay.
It means to severely criticize, scold, or punish someone for doing something wrong. I don't know if you know this, but criticism and scolding usually comes in words,
Yeah,
not physical action.
yeah. I appreciate the demeaning, insult there, but
I didn't insult
like,
you.
well, I know you're acting like, well, I don't know if you really know, but those can be done verbally. I
I'm
mean,
genuinely saying I don't know if you knew that.
yeah, well,
I was prefacing the
for
sentence.
okay, but
Craig,
yeah,
please,
but you
ma'am,
don't
just
know that,
stop with the metaphors,
like
ma'am.
pronouns are so like
Ma'am,
I'd
ma'am, we're
figure
not
that
talking
out
about
first.
pronouns. Ma'am,
I'd
we're
figure
not
that out
talking about
first
pronouns.
before
We're talking.
what
I love how
chastisement means.
I love
Like
how
you guys
again
don't
you're
know that
pivoting off
like
of Deuteronomy
a
22
trans
again,
woman is
ma'am.
just a dude.
Oh,
Ma'am,
he's going to get transphobic. Okay. I
lady, I'm
love
gonna need you to
TikTok Shop.
calm
I might
down,
get a
Craig.
restriction for that.
Yeah, we should actually talk about the trans issue because
No, we should
that
talk about
makes
Deuteronomy
no sense
22.
whatsoever. Like
Craig, we should
literally
talk
no
about
sense.
I don't
Deuteronomy
know what
22. I'm
your
trying to keep
opinion
you on
is on
topic.
Deuteronomy 22.
Yeah.
This is
Doesn't
Yeah,
have
about
we're gonna
anything
go
to
on
run
Yeah,
real
through
but
quick.
the
We're just gonna
text.
move on.
but you guys are struggling with the idea that like you didn't even know that chastisement was in there. Like you guys, if anything, were just like, no, it's just you pay money, and then I pull out the scripture,
Yeah.
I read it, and now we're in this like super
No,
detailed debate
I
about
mean,
what
you
it
pull
means, and
out
Craig.
you
some
didn't even
horseshit
know that.
translation of the Bible and try to use it.
Yeah, Craig, I'm looking at an actual Hebrew
Yeah,
lexicon.
and so am I,
No,
and
you're
so am
not.
I.
What
It means to
lexicon are you looking at?
discipline,
You know how to read
chasten,
Hebrew, Greg?
correct, or
Yep.
instruct. That's what it
What
means.
what lexicon are you looking at, Craig?
Yeah, I'm looking at the lexicon that um,
Which one is it?
Uh-huh.
let's see here.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Like I know you've never done any like
Yeah,
in-depth
so
like work
physically
on.
shape, yeah, physically
Yeah, and
shape
which
or make
lexicon is it?
straight.
Which lexicon is it?
It's the pronoun lexicon. That's what it
That's
is.
not a lexicon, dummy. What
No, it
lexicon is it?
is. No, that's what it is. Dummy, dude, you think men are women?
Ma'am,
Like
ma'am,
this
please.
is what we're coming down
Lady,
to. You think men are women and
lady,
the
please.
gospels
Ma'am, we're trying to
are
be respectful here, but you're like
How
pivoting.
anti-Semitic?
do we keep
You think the
Craig?
gospels are
How
anti-Semitic
Craig?
and that men are
Hey,
women?
Craig. How do we keep pivoting back to the fact that I asked you pronouns at the beginning to be respectful?
Well, because you guys are giving like condescending shot about my intellect when you think that men can be
I'm
women
not
and think
doing
that the gospels
anything
are
for one.
anti-Semitic.
I'm
No, the
not
host
doing
you've been
anything for
fine,
one.
but the two boyfriends here are talking about I have low intellect when they would say a man can be a woman and that the
Hey
gospels
man, I
are
just call it how I
anti-Semitic.
see it, dog. I just call it how I see it.
Yeah. Well, it's really stupid to think that
If
trans
you're gonna
women are
act like a
women.
dummy, you're gonna get treated like one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, dude, if you think that the gospels are
Are you
anti-Semitic and that
done yet?
men can be women, I mean that's like
Are you
there's
done
really not
yet?
much dumber that
Yeah.
you can get than that.
Hey,
Are
Like
Craig,
you
Craig,
seriously,
done
you
yet?
really can't get any dumber than that.
Craig,
Craig,
are
do
Craig,
you
you
need
done
your
Hey,
yet?
let me
binky?
guess.
Do you
Abortion's
need your
okay up
binky,
until
Craig?
like 9 months as well. Like killing children, there is no
Oh,
God,
absolutely,
men can be women, and the gospels are
absolutely.
anti-Semitic. Like
How are
this is
you
what you guys
pivoting
are
to
at.
political? How are you pivoting to political in a religious debate?
because he's scared of the text, or she's
Yeah.
scared of the text. Sorry.
So,
When you start to
back
get
to
insulted, this is
Deuteronomy.
how things
Back
happen. That's the
Yeah,
back
problem.
to
When you talk
Deuteronomy.
about and when
Back
dummies are
to
asking your pronouns before
Deuteronomy.
you start,
Back
and then saying the
back
gospels are
hey
anti-Semitic, it just
hey
hey
it's really
Craig,
difficult.
Craig
Craig, buddy, you're crashing out. It's okay.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I haven't
Man, we're
gone
gonna need
anywhere.
you to chill.
I said you're crashing out. Figure it out, buddy.
Yeah,
You're doing
still
great.
here.
Do you need your
Yeah,
binky?
yeah,
Do you need your bottle?
yeah, yeah. No, it is funny. It's definitely funny that you have to come into a conversation when people ask your pronouns. It's like, okay, this is where we're really going to start,
Oh, boo
and then
hoo. People want
and
to
then
respect
all
me.
and then all of
When
these
people
things
want to show me
devolve into
respect, I
like
can't believe people want
insults.
to show me respect. How rude of them.
Yeah, they want to, play into your
I can't
delusion,
believe
which is
people
just going to
want to
make you
refer to
even
me the
more
way that I refer
deluded.
to
Ma'am,
myself. I'm
It's just
such a
going to
little
make you
weenie and
even.
can't let people refer to me correctly.
Hey Ace, what's up? Hello guys. I'm 28.
Hey, are you okay? Pronouns, please.
He, him.
He,
So,
him. Thank you.
are those like tarot cards that you
Hold
have?
on 1 second. We have more questions.
Are you a believer of a God?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. I want to see if I can bring somebody in real quick.
So, are those like tarot cards that you have in the profile?
They are
Yeah.
tarot cards.
So, did you read the book of Lord of the Mysteries? It's about them.
Police be upon Muhammad, by the way.
Yes, thank
Police
you.
be upon him.
Oh, police? No, that's
Police.
disrespectful. No.
No, I think it's pretty disrespectful to marry a 6-year-old and
Yeah,
then to
but you're
consummate
also
that at
being
9.
disrespectful right now.
Yes. Hang on, y'all.
I don't.
Hang on.
I don't think that's very disrespectful.
Hey, Ems.
Hey, Ems, welcome up.
Oh my God, you
Okay.
guys are evil.
What?
Aw.
I am so sorry, Ems.
if you miss Brett and Ace here during the day, you're welcome to come to Decon After Dark. We start at around 9 to 9:30 Eastern Time on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And then, if I ever just get a wild hair and feel like arguing, maybe some other nights. But we're all late nights. If you're ever up late, come on by and say hey.
Hi, Britt. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Can I get your pronouns, please?
He, him.
Are you a believer of God?
Yeah. Are you?
Which one?
Are you a believer?
Which God?
Which God? The only one true God.
Zeus?
No, his name is God. Just
Ptolemy?
God. Just God in general. The God off the
Are you
Bible.
talking about Ra?
The God that's in the Christian Bible.
Oh, so the Christian God.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe your God
What do
is
you
all
guys
good?
believe in? Moon God or something?
Do you believe your God is all good?
I believe he's good. Yeah. Is your God good? Yes. I think if you abide by him, if you understand
Do you
him,
believe your God is all
he will
knowing?
gift you.
Do you believe your God is all knowing?
To a certain degree, but I don't think he's all knowing. No.
So you don't believe your God is all knowing?
He's all knowing to a degree. Like he
And
knows, but he allows, like there's some stuff he don't know.
does he know women's anatomy?
Does he knows women's anatomy?
That's what I asked.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he has some knowledge of. What's your point?
Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21. Do you know that one?
Can you go over it? Can you read it?
I can go over it. I'm not pulling up the Bible right now to read it.
You want me to read it for you, Ace, or you just want
You
to go
want to
over it?
Yes,
bring up
please.
something
I'll
that you
read it.
cannot.
Hybrid. I'll read it. Suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her dislikes her, and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I laid with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. So, what evidence of her virginity do you think he's looking for right here, Hybrid?
So this could mean a lot of things, and
Well, it means one thing. We'll get to it. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city gate. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her. And now he's made up charges against her, saying, I didn't find evidence of your daughter's virginity. But here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. The elders of the town shall take that man and punish him, and they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he has slandered a virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife, and he shall not be permitted to divorce her for as long as he lives. If, however, the charge is true, the evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the man of her town shall stone her to unalivement, because she has committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. Ace, do you want to take this, or you want me to run, or do you want to take it, Ace?
I can take it.
Okay.
Now, what causes a woman to bleed her first time?
maturity.
No.
You talking about doing intercourse?
Yes, that's what this is talking about.
Well, I was just saying, like, what causes them is as they get older at a certain age, they automatically have a monthly. So that's it. Bleeding for them it's an automatic thing once they hit a certain maturity level. So that's what I was speaking of.
Now, what about during intercourse?
Well, it wouldn't happen all the time. You cannot say that penetration would cause a
During
discharge,
their first time, what would cause it?
like a more a more like deeper penetration. You got to understand that some guys, some females,
How
the
much of
body
women's
language,
anatomy do you know?
is different to where there might not be
Body
any
language.
discharge. Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying.
How
The intertwinement
how
of two
much
beings, knucklehead.
how much how much women's anatomy do you know?
Excuse me.
How much women's anatomy do you know?
A lot. You asked me when do they discharge, and I told you when they mature. Was I right or wrong?
That didn't really have much to do with her question, though.
Do you know what a hymen is?
You said that kind of fast. I don't want to make it seem as if you did that on purpose, but can you re-say what you just said?
Do you know what a hymen is?
A hymen.
Yeah.
Yes, a type of position. No, what exactly is it though? I'm not too sure.
So the hymen is a tissue that is in the vaginal region.
Okay.
The reason why some women bleed their first time
Some,
during intercourse.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So you speaking
46%
the
of
same
women.
language as me, because that's what I was saying. Some will and some won't.
Yeah, but you said it was because of body language, and it has nothing to do with
No,
that.
what I meant by body language is when a man intertwine with the so-called virgin, right? It, his downstairs might not be as penetration, for lack of better words, than some other guy.
That's
Or
not really
the
how it
the
works.
female's body might be different than another woman's body that perceive the instrument differently, that receives the instrument differently. So that's all I'm trying to explain to you guys. That's why some will and some won't.
The reasoning, because it's very shallow into it, right?
Do you have a different
The
topic as opposed to trying to speak about versions?
Well,
so the verses that were brought up was talking about stoning women who don't bleed on their wedding night, which is why this is the topic.
Well, yeah, I mean, so stoning to me will be a sign of delivering a message, or it doesn't necessarily mean to unalive. So
Stoning a woman until
and
she
and, and
unalives.
That's what
yeah,
it
and
says.
the reason why you guys don't understand the true glory of God, right? Because you guys have eaten off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
So have you, according to the text.
Well, so what I mean by that is you guys continue to eat off the the knowledge of the tree of
Hey,
good and evil.
how about how,
So
how about
you're
we stay focused on Deuteronomy 22? How about
you're,
that?
you're eating the evil that's within the book.
Cool.
You
And
only
well,
you
so
only
the evil's
edifying
in the book, though,
yourself
right?
over what would be considered evil, and it's taking you away from what could be considered good.
So stoning women for not bleeding on their wedding night
But did you?
when it's 46% of women who actually do bleed, which means 54% of women do not, because the hymen is a tissue that can be broken off of many ways, including riding a horse, riding a donkey, riding a bike, which bikes weren't invented during that time period, but like riding a horse, riding a donkey, lifting heavy pails of water, doing house chores, falling downstairs, falling out of trees. There's a million different ways the hymen can break without it being during
Yeah,
intercourse. Um,
understandable from a female's aspect.
so stoning women who don't bleed on their wedding night, it's
Because you
not
girls, y'all like to
exactly.
trip over every little thing. Like
Don't
everything is an
don't
issue.
don't interrupt her.
So to stone women just because they don't bleed on their wedding night, um, does that sound like a very good law to have in
It's,
place?
it's only saying be upset. Be upset.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's what it.
Do you want me
Well,
to read it again?
no, I understand the language.
Are you high?
No, I'm trying to get you. Oh my God.
Or are you following the conversation?
So I'm following the conversation just because I have a slight bit of a disagreement with what you're saying
No, I just want
or
to
how
make
you
sure
interpreting the
because
Bible, man.
you've kind of first of all, you keep veering away from the conversation
Because you
and
threw your
then
first stone.
you're
For you to ask me if I'm high, that is equivalent to throwing a stone at someone. So that's
No, it
what
isn't.
kind of what the verse is speaking of. It's not
I'm
I,
speaking of.
asking because I've had people who've acted like you are right now, who have been not
Honest. I'm being honest.
clear-headed.
Clear-headed.
Yeah, can you still man what I've said to you, by the way?
So you said there's a piece of flesh in the vagina that,
It's not flesh, it's tissue.
oh my gosh. Okay, tissue. There's a tissue within a vagina that for a virgin it don't have to happen during intercourse for the vagina to discharge of blood. It can happen during riding a bike, slips and falls, horseback riding, skydiving from a plane and hitting the ground because the parachute didn't work. So it can happen for multiple different reasons of what you explain. I still made your position. I understand. And you also said that, so stoning someone for not bleeding, that's the issue. But the
hmm
thing about the stoning part is just be mad, be upset. If your
No, it
virgin
is
didn't
literally
bleed,
telling you to
be
unalive
upset.
them.
You can relay a message pretty much saying like, hey, look guys, I'm upset. She did not bleed. She
Hey,
she intertwined with somebody. I'm mad. I'm a madman. There's
hey,
nothing wrong with that.
hybrid,
You
hybrid,
thinking physically picking up stones.
hybrid. First off, the whole point is bleeding on a sheet is not a good test of virginity. We don't know that she intertwined with another man. Sometimes women's hymens don't break, even if they are intact. Sometimes They aren't born with hymens. Like women's bodies are all very,
That's
very
what we
different.
were saying
But
earlier.
not only
Some
that,
male and some
hold on, hold on,
sir.
hold on, hold on, hold on. That's beside. I mean, we all agree on that point that like not every woman bleeds the first time. Literally, less than half of them do. But I'm going to read you verse 21 again, and then I want to see how honest you're going to be about the text. And then if you're going to say something different, I want to know how you came up with it. Because what it says is, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her to unalivement because she has committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. You shall purge the evil from your midst. It's literally saying she's an evil person for what she's done. Now you have to unalive her for doing so, just like you have to unalive people who commit rape and who commit murder and who do all these other things. You have to unalive those people. So this is the same thing. So where are you getting the idea that they're like, no, you did a bad and we're upset, and that's where
It's
it
just showing you how
stops.
in depth the situation is. Like we all understand that intercourse is a serious matter. It's something that makes the world go round.
So
People
God lied
wouldn't
when He
be
said stone them.
people wouldn't be people without intercourse. So it's only highlighting the in depths of how
So God
serious
lied.
an entwinement can be.
So God lied.
What you mean he lied? He didn't lie. He just expressed it in a metaphorical type, more in depth type
How do
way
you know this
to
is a metaphor?
explain.
What's it a metaphor? Like, why would I think this is a metaphor when I read it? It doesn't say it's a metaphor. It's not a poem. It's a law and a
It's
punishment.
meant for you to feel how in
If
depth the
hey,
situation is. So,
hybrid. If you go schmurder
what's your
someone,
IQ?
it's very high. If you go schmurder someone, according to the Bible, and then it says you go out and you stone that person for committing schmurder, are they just saying just be mad at them and just slap them on their we're so upset with you, or
So,
do you take
but
them out and
how do
stone them?
you correlate that? It's only letting you know that one situation is real. So when somebody is stoned for
Yeah.
murder, you can look at that as being a consequence of doing something that's
Okay.
terribly wrong. Like, okay,
Yeah,
cool,
and
we're gonna
so
stone
this
you
is the
to death.
same
Like
thing.
physically, like in all reality, you're getting stoned. But
This
when
is
you
the same
talk
thing.
about a virgin and bleeding and entwinement and that type of nature, and it tells you about stoning, it
Yeah.
doesn't correlate. It's not the same.
Why? Why?
Then they shall bring out the young woman to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her to unalivement with stones.
Like you're saying, oh, it's
That's
not the same,
verbiage.
but it's literally the same punishment.
It's
The
verbiage.
yes, it's verbiage that means something. When you
No, no,
murder
no. I'm
someone,
saying so when you
hold
drag her
on, stop,
outside
hybrid,
and
stop
all the men
interrupting
will
me,
be out there
hybrid,
is
hybrid, stop interrupting me. Let me get my thought out, and then you can respond. I'll let you respond. You just have to let me like ask the question first. When it says it about people who murder people, all it says is, then you shall take this man in front of the elders of the town, they shall find him guilty, and you shall stone him to unalivement. It's the exact same verbiage as here. Then you shall take the young woman before the elders of the town, they shall find her guilty, and then you shall stone her to unalivement. And then it even goes on to say she's because she committed a disgraceful act in her father's house, so ye shall purge the evil from your midst. It's the same thing it says about people who murder. So what's the thing that distinguishes this from the Schmurder penalty? Because it's the same verbiage. Why would I read one and think, oh, well, you're actually supposed to do it, and the other one is just, no, you're not actually supposed to do it. This is just getting mad.
yeah, I mean that's a good question. And so basically what's being said, right? It's only letting you know that yes, it's a discipline behind wrongdoings.
And
And
what's that discipline?
but the overall is unalignment. Just
Yeah.
like so
Okay.
your wrongdoing towards anything. Like if you murder somebody, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, right?
Okay.
Simple things like that, you
Yeah.
you will be unalived.
Okay.
You'll
We
pretty much be
agree.
stoned to death.
We agree. So if you're
Yeah.
stoned to death for not being found to be a virgin, but the test for being a virgin is that you don't bleed on a cloth the first time that you have intercourse with your husband and he doesn't like you. But we've already established that less than 50% of women actually bleed. That means that no less than 50% of the women who were accused of this would have been innocent. That means your God either A, doesn't have a problem with punishing innocent women, with the unalivement penalty for things they didn't do, or B, he doesn't understand women's anatomy, and this was probably just written by some guys in the Bronze Age who didn't know what a hymen was, and they thought that's the only test for virginity.
No, so I just think that there's a bigger understanding taking place
What?
within the scripture. Yeah.
What is it? What is it here?
You will have to go more in depth
With what? This is just
and
one
gain a
law.
better understanding. Yeah, but the thing about it
What's-
is you're misinterpreting what the scripture is saying.
What am I misinterpreting?
So, because when you read, right, you're reading with a one-track mind.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
I'm reading what it says, hybrid. What am I getting wrong here? I'm asking you to tell me where I'm wrong. How's my interpretation wrong? What is my interpretation? I'm just reading what it says. I'm not interpreting anything.
What you're saying is not aligning up, okay?
How?
So it's your thought, right? So what you're doing and what the Bible tells us not to do is lean on your own private interpretation.
I'm not. What have I interpreted, hybrid?
It's okay, not even that. Vain imagination.
What have I imagined?
Because what you reading, right? You're painting this narrative in your mind.
No, I'm not. I'm just reading
We're literally reading it for what it says. It says stone women who do not bleed on their wedding night.
That's all it says.
How are we misinterpreting it?
You picturing that,
How
right?
are we misinterpreting
That's
it?
the only
That
way
is
you can
literally
understand it.
word for word what it says, because
and you imagine it.
If any man takes a wife and goes into her and then hates her, I'm still in the ESV. Why am I in the ESV? That's not the one I like. In RSVUE, suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her dislikes her and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her, and now he has made up charges against her, saying, I did not find evidence of your daughter's virginity. But here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. The elders of that town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he has slandered a virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife. He shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives. If, however, this charge is true, that evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her to unalivement, because she committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. How are we misinterpreting it?
So, right. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to further my studies on what's being said here, right? But I can only give you my truth of what I believe it's saying. I believe it correlates with something else that's within the book. I believe it's like a foundation to something, to another storyline.
To what? To what? It's a law, man. It's not a story. It's a law. It's in Deuteronomy. These aren't stories. These are just God-given commands. They're just laws.
That's what I'm saying. I believe that when you guys read this, right, I believe your understanding is
And again, how are you going to tell us our understanding is wrong if you can't tell us what it actually means? You're just saying you're wrong, but I don't know what it means. Like, you can't tell me I'm wrong if you can't tell me what's right.
No, I told you it was right, and it was leaning on your own vain thoughts.
Yeah, what's it actually mean then? You're just giving rhetoric. That's rhetoric. That's not an answer.
That, you put a vain thought into your mind.
Then what's it mean, hybrid?
And you're meant to
stop with the rhetoric.
Narrative.
You're just doing rhetoric now. You're just saying, well, you just don't. You're literally just telling me I don't understand it without telling me what it means. You're saying, no, Adam, you don't know what it means, but then you can't tell me what it means.
When you read the Bible, do you supposed to lean on your own vain thoughts?
I just read what the words say.
Or no? Yes or no?
That's what the New Testament says. Okay, it says lean not on your own understandings because it doesn't want you to think for yourself.
Understanding, right?
because
So
it doesn't want you to think for
when
yourself.
you read that, are you not imagining it in the way personally how you see
No,
it?
no.
So when he say take a virgin and go outside, you're not picturing that in your mind.
No, I'm just reading what it says, hybrid. What do you think
But
it
you're
means?
picturing it in your mind, bro.
Or
That's
do
a
you not?
bad thought.
Do you
Yes, and
not?
you're believing in
Do
that.
you not?
Do I not?
Yeah.
No, I will correlate that verse
To
with
what?
something that's more in depth. Like I
To
will
what?
gain an understanding of that
To
verse.
what?
I
To
wouldn't
what?
picture it in my mind, right?
So okay, so what do you correlate it to? What do you
Because then
correlate
I
this
will be
one? What do
leaning
you
on my
correlate
own
this
vain
one standalone
imagination,
law
like
to?
you're doing.
So then what is it then?
It's something being said. It's something that
What?
needs to be understood,
What?
sir.
You can't just sit and just give all these ambiguous ass like non-answers and then tell me
It's not
I'm
a
wrong.
non-answer just
Yes, it
because
is.
you're
You
having a
don't
hard
know.
time with it.
It's hard. Yes, it's hard and it sucks. There's a lot of stuff in the Old Testament that really suck to read. But what you're going to do is you're going to look into this. This doesn't correlate. Dude, I have a degree in biblical studies.
You're
I've been
eating off
studying this
the
stuff for
tree of the
decades, man.
knowledge of good and evil.
No,
You're
I'm
edifying
again
yourself over
rhetoric.
the evil that's
Hybrid.
within this book.
Hybrid.
And
You're
it's
just doing
taking you
rhetoric
away
again.
from the good that's within this book.
You're just doing rhetoric again. We're just talking
It's
about
not
is
rhetoric,
God
man.
all
It's
good?
accuracy. Pinpoint
It's not.
accuracy.
We're asking, is your God all good?
Yes.
And you said yes. And then we showed you something he did that's bad. And now you're just trying to flip around and say, I don't know how it's good. I don't know why it's good, but it has to be good because I've presupposed goodness into my God. But you don't have a reason that this is good. You're just saying,
The prompt
well,
say,
Adam, no,
is
no, no,
your
hold on.
God good?
Hybrid, hybrid,
You didn't say,
hybrid.
is your God all good?
We
See, now
asked you
you're
if he's all
wrong
good
right
and you said
there.
yes. We asked you if he's all good and you said yes.
No,
Now,
no, no.
again,
The
you're
prompt
just
say,
reading,
is your
we're
God
reading this to
good?
you. Hybrid,
Don't try to put a
I,
twist to it like how you been
hybrid,
doing.
I asked you, is he all good? And you said yes. Now, again, is this law that God gave good?
For you to win this argument, you don't have to put words in my
Is
mouth.
this law that
You
God?
can
I've already won
always
the
ask me to
argument.
clarify.
Everyone in the comments
Re-ask the
knows I've already
question.
won
No,
this
you have
argument.
not.
So is
No,
this law
sir.
good?
You have not won anything.
Is this law
You have
good?
leaned on your own vain thoughts. You gave me your
Then
own
tell.
vain imagination, and that's what you're believing in. You're
Dude,
eating off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You're edifying yourself over the evil that's within the book, sir.
Ace, he can't give an answer. I can't. I mean, I don't know where to go from here.
I
He won't
gave you
answer
an
it.
sir. I gave you an answer.
No, then what's it mean? What does Deuteronomy
See, that's
22,
what I'm
13
saying.
through
You're
21
wrong
mean?
again. There are three. You have three wrongs, bro.
No, I'm asking you what it means.
What does Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21 mean? Because you keep saying that we're leaning on our own understanding, but we're literally going through the verse.
Yeah, it's called vain thoughts.
No, what's it mean? Quit doing
What does it
rhetoric. Just
mean?
what's it mean?
So, like I told you, it's something there that need to be understood. If you studied the Bible,
I
if you
have.
read the Bible,
I have a degree in it. So go ahead. What's it mean?
understand. So,
I do.
let me explain something to you. So, do you understand what's being said there? You claim that, right?
Yep, I do.
Okay, but God is knowledge and wisdom too as well. So if you don't have the knowledge and the wisdom of, the only thing you have is the understanding of it. You
Okay, so
have the
tell me what it
understanding,
means.
but you don't have the
Hybrid,
wisdom,
you've been
and
scared
you
to
don't
do
have
this
the
the whole time.
knowledge.
Tell me what it
Sir,
means.
for you to understand, you have to have all three.
Then
If
tell
not,
me what it
it will
means, damn it. Like,
lean.
why are we doing this back and forth? Or you just do this, whatever. Just tell me what it means.
You might call it rhetoric, but
It
this is
is.
pinpoint accuracy.
It's not. It's
Okay,
just
so
you dancing
I'm
around the
letting you
problem.
know how to decipher the book, right?
And
I'm
I'm asking
explaining
you to
to you how
decipher
to
it and
edify
explain it to
yourself.
me.
I explained it to
Decipher it and
you. I
explain it.
told
You
you
didn't. You
it's
didn't.
on you, the individual, to seek the wisdom
Ace, did he
and the
explain it?
knowledge
Did I
thereof.
miss that?
No,
The
no,
only
he
thing you're
hasn't explained the
gaining,
text.
Did I like pass out when he explained it and I just missed
your
it?
understanding is lacking. You have a lack of
You
understanding.
haven't. You haven't helped me understand it all.
It's not for me to help you. Now I told you. Now I gave you pieces to the puzzle. Okay, now it's on you
You
to
didn't give
place
me
them.
anything.
I cannot.
You haven't given anything.
Okay, so what does Deuteronomy 22:13-21 say if it does not say stone women who don't bleed on their wedding night?
But do you understand the knowledge thereof and the wisdom
No.
thereof?
You're
You
still
do.
not. I gave it
God
as
is
simple as
knowledge,
possible.
wisdom,
I gave it as
and
simple as possible
understanding.
to the question. I asked, what does it mean then?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
So okay, so when you read that, right, you must go in depths. You need to go deeper. A lot of times when we read the Bible, people only scratch the surface of what's being said. Let's not scratch
What's the
the
deeper
surface.
understanding,
Scratching
Hybrid?
the
Just tell it
surface,
to us.
Adam, is
We've
only
asked
going to
you.
get you so far.
We've asked you. Tell us the
Dig
deeper meaning.
deeper.
Tell us the deeper
So it's a
meaning.
deeper concept
Then
than
give it
what's
to
being
me. What
said.
is it?
I can't explain nothing if you're going to talk over me, sir.
You're
That's
just
your
telling me
first
there is a
rookie
deeper
mistake.
concept, but you won't tell me what it is. You're not explaining anything. You're
I'm only
literally
letting you
doing the
know that you're
opposite of that.
scratching the surface of what's being said. You taking it for what it say. You putting a vain image in your mind, and you leaning on your own vain imagination. So
How is it a vain
pause,
imagination if we're
because
taking the
he's
text
thinking
for what it
of what
says?
he thinks the verse is saying.
What does the verse say then? What does it say then?
The
Because
verse
we
will
read
say
it
what
for
it's gonna
you
say, but you
three.
need to go deeper. It's a
We
deeper
read it to you.
understanding, ma'am.
Okay, so tell us the
There's
deeper
wisdom
understanding for
being
the
said
15th
there.
time.
There's knowledge
What's the
being said
wisdom? What's
there.
the knowledge?
Okay. And there's even good being said. But
Where's
you
the
guys
good
are
in
so
stoning
focused
women
on
who
the
don't bleed on
evil.
their wedding night?
You guys are so
Where
focused
is
on
the
the
good in it?
negative of what the book is
Where
saying
is the good in
that
it?
you're missing
I'm
the point.
specifically focusing on this verse.
Hybrid,
Where is the good in
are
it?
you gonna answer her question at all? Where's the good?
Okay, like I said, so when you read that, right? Calm
When I read
yourself
it, I see
down, number
nothing but
one.
bad.
Calm yourself down when you read it, because yes, it can be frustrating. The words don't seem to be good to you, right? The revelation or the mystery has not been revealed to you. Just because it has not been revealed to you doesn't mean lean on your own thoughts. It doesn't mean like,
Where
well, let me paint
is
a
the
picture in my
good in the
mind and
verse?
lean on my own vain imagination because I'm
Whose
having a
thoughts are
lack
Where
of
you leaning on?
understanding.
is the
So let
good
me
in
just
the
do that
verse?
because that's the easy way out. Okay. I
Hybrid.
don't
Where,
want the wisdom. I don't want the knowledge
where,
thereof.
where is the good in the verse?
It's there, sir. You will have to read that.
Where?
Hey,
Like I
Read
told
it.
you, it's on the individual. But you
hey,
know what? Like
Hybrid.
I said, I
Question,
gave you my
question,
knowledge, I gave you
question.
my piece,
Hybrid,
and my time here on this panel is up.
hybrid,
Okay,
hybrid.
because
Question. I have a
I have
question.
nothing.
I have a question. I have a question.
What's your question, sir?
If we lean on our own understanding, it's a two-part question. If we lean on our understanding, what understanding do you lean on to interpret this verse?
Sir, I will have to answer that next time I'm on the panel. Right now, my time is up. I enjoy myself on the panel. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, I wouldn't answer it either.
Crusader, are you over 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get your pronouns, please?
Jesus, angel, God.
None of those were pronouns.
Yeah, but look at you. You're a piece of toast with rainbows on it.
It's actually a loaf of bread. I
Yeah.
would
Well,
recommend better
do you have problems
oxidation
pooping or
skills.
what?
Look at
Not
you.
really,
You're
no.
LARPing as somebody in the. What are you LARPing as? You LARPing
Is
as
it
a
hard
Call
to
of
poop,
Duty
bro?
player?
Is it hard to poop?
Not really,
So,
no.
what are your
No,
pronouns?
it's not hard to poop when you take it in the ass by another man.
Only when he wants to.
Really?
Crusader,
So, like,
are
do
you
you
over
make the
18?
sandwiches?
Crusader, are you over 18?
I'm 26, sweetie.
Ew.
Can I get your pronouns, please?
I already fucking told you, you dumb bitch.
Ew.
Are you a believer of a God?
My cock is a god. My balls are my
Ew.
cock.
Genuine, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Can I get your pronouns, please?
Uh, I don't. What are examples of that? Can they be anything you choose?
Well, normally it's he, him, she, her, they, them.
Him.
Are you a believer of a God?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Okay. Do you believe your God is all good?
Can you define good? What do you mean by good?
It's your definition of good. Do you believe your God is all good?
Well, it's not my definition of good. Technically, it's your definition since you have the question. You're asking the question.
Do you believe your God is good?
I believe my God is good. I believe my God is just, moral. So what do you understand for my God to be good? When I tell you I'm a Christian, what do you believe when I say my God is good? Like, what does that mean to you?
So, do you know Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21?
Can you read it?
Yeah, absolutely. Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21. 13. Suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her, dislikes her and makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders of the gate at the city. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her, and now he has made up charges against her, saying, I did not find evidence of your daughter's virginity. But here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. The elders of that town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he has slandered a virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife. He shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives. If, however, this charge is true, the evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out of the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her to unalivement, because she committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house, so you shall purge the evil from your midst. Now, what would be the evidence of the woman's virginity?
And are you going to answer my first question, though?
What would be the evidence of a woman's virginity?
Are you going to answer my first question?
What would be the evidence of a woman's virginity?
The scripture you read it. I mean, the scripture doesn't provide the context for that. I'm not going to read into the scripture here.
What would be on the cloth then?
Pardon me?
What would be on the cloth?
You teach me. You seem to know. You seem to have an idea of what you think it is. So
I want to know where you're at. What would be on the cloth?
I don't have a thought about it. I don't know. I haven't done a study on this particular law.
How would the cloth demonstrate virginity? Like, what evidence are they looking for?
You tell me.
What do you think?
I don't know. I just told you 2 times. I do not know,
man. You know. You have an idea.
I just told you 2 times. I don't know. So can you just answer? Am I talking to Ace or am I talking to Adam or both of you?
Would it potentially be blood?
Is that what you think?
That's me having knowledge of women's anatomy.
And what does that have to do with Deuteronomy, though?
Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21 is talking about a woman's virginity, is it
And
not?
where do you get that context from?
Where do I get the context of what exactly? The fact that it's talking about a woman's virginity?
Yes.
It says
the fact that at the very beginning, it says the fact that, but here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity.
Okay.
The whole accusation is that she's not a woman.
We not find evidence of her virginity.
Okay.
The text itself brings up the fact that it's about virginity.
Okay. So you're talking about displaying of the cloth. Okay.
What would be on the cloth? How would
answer your own question?
I did.
Okay, so let's keep on moving. Next.
What would cause a woman to bleed?
Can you educate me? I want your perspective on the context of the verse.
Are you pretending to be dumb or do you just not know?
Adam, nobody's speaking to you. Speaking to the
I was
host.
speaking to you. That's
Well,
why
I'm
she
not
brought me up
speaking to you.
here.
I'm speaking to the host. She doesn't need a superhero.
Well, that's why she brought me up here, because I'm co-hosting with
Ace,
her
he
today.
says you brought him up here because you need a superhero.
Adam's up here co-hosting with me.
All right, so who am I talking to? Am I talking to both of you or am I talking to one of you?
It would be her. She's the host, and I'm
Okay, so let me
co-hosting.
speak to the
So
host, Adam,
I
please.
would like you to clarify. Do you have no idea what this is talking about, or are you just playing dumb?
Can I speak to the host, Adam?
You can answer that question to the host if you'd like.
Are you going to let me in the host dialogue?
Well, I'm here too, so get used to it, buddy.
So who am I addressing here?
So, do you genuinely not know what would cause a woman to bleed on her?
Okay, right. So the scripture's talking about a woman losing her virginity, right? Blood being displayed on the cloth. Next. What's next?
What causes a woman to bleed on her
Oh
first
my
time?
goodness. Just answer your own question, please, so we can get to is God good or not?
Do you genuinely not know women's anatomy?
Yeah, I genuinely don't. So teach me something about women's anatomy, please.
I'm gonna let
Granted.
Joshua talk to you.
We have another person. Okay, Joshua, please teach me.
Oh, I'm not talking to you.
Okay,
Yeah,
Joshua
I don't
will not.
really want to talk to you. No, yeah, just mute up. I'm here to talk to Ace. So I just wanted to read Susan Ackerman's new book. It's just a section, so I thought it might be useful here, if you don't
Okay,
mind, Ace. And then I'll drop back
absolutely.
down because you guys are doing very, very well without me. However, a third text, she says, Deuteronomy 22:13-21, may help clarify this matter somewhat. This passage concerns a legal issue. A husband who accuses a newly married wife of not being a virgin at the time of their wedding. According to Deuteronomy's dictates, the charge is to be addressed by the bride's father and mother, presenting evidence of her virginity to a body of adjudicating elders. The evidence in question, we are told more specifically, is some sort of cloth. Most logically, this cloth would have to come from the couple's wedding bed and should have on it blood that would attest to the fact that on the wedding night, the woman's hymen had been pierced. It is hard to imagine any other cloth that could conclusively prove that the bride was a virgin. Just thought that might have been useful to read. And that's Susan Ackerman, her brand new book, Maturity, Marriage, Motherhood, and Mortality, Women's Life Cycle Rituals in Ancient Israel. She's a Hebrew Bible specialist. So I don't know. Just felt that might be a useful bit of information. But Ace,
All right. So
thank you for
now,
letting me come
with
up.
that being
Yeah,
said,
I'm not done.
with that being said,
Ace, yeah, I'm
how
not
does
done.
this?
Ace, thank you for letting me come up. If you would please drop me back down so I don't mess with your algorithm.
How does this have to do with God being good?
46% of women bleed their first time, which means 54% of women don't, because the hymen is a tissue that is in the vaginal canal that is very easy to break. Smile, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
What year did you graduate?
I actually graduated a little later, 2023.
Okay. Can I get the pronouns, please?
He, him.
Are you a believer for God?
Somewhat. Not the Bible,
Awesome.
though. I don't think I believe in the Bible's way of how God is introduced, if that makes sense.
Okay. So who is your God?
My God would be someone that would be all good, nothing bad. He has no I don't know the name of it. Rebellion, or I think it's called, where you go to hell and you go and suffer and all that. I don't believe in that he would say that that's free will to go and to suffer if you don't believe in him. That doesn't seem very right in my ways.
So where can we find the God you're talking about?
I don't know. Not necessarily you can find him, I guess. It's more of he's there, and it doesn't even mean that he is a him or a her. It's just a higher being that created everything.
So are you a deist?
Deist. I'm not quite sure what that one is. What is that about, Deist?
A deist is somebody who believes in a higher power who doesn't have their hand in the cookie jar.
Okay.
Is that kind of what you have going on?
Sure, yeah.
And you believe your God is all good?
Right. There's no such thing as hell and the devil.
Well, that's a Christian belief. The hell and the devil.
Yeah, there's no. I don't believe in the hell and the devil. I only believe
So you
there's a God, and that's it. And you get reincarnated or you come back as a in another life. Restart what you restart whatever happened that you something better that you might want to do the next time. So instead of a human, then you could be like a type of animal or whatever you want.
so your God doesn't have a name?
Nope.
You can't find him in a book. It's naturally just what you believe?
Yep.
Okay. Um okay, hang on. Trying to So you believe your God is all good. You don't believe in hell or the devil. He can't be found in a book. Am I right?
Right.
Okay, how do you know this God even exists?
Well, I mean, how else do you think everything was created? Can't just be out of nowhere.
Oh, so you're a God of the gaps, got it. How was this God created?
This God, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how this God was created.
Does your God have attributes or properties?
I think he's just there, and it's just letting everything run on its own. He's not interrupting anything. He is the creator, and he just lets everything be it, but be whatever it is after he's created it. So he has no he can interrupt it, but he won't because he respects how everything is.
May I say respectfully, what's the point?
The point of what?
This God.
Well, wouldn't you want something like that more than being judged?
What's the no? I don't believe in any God, so I'm saying, what's the point of this God? If he doesn't do anything, what's the point?
Well, I mean, why
I mean, I'm
why
genuinely asking.
why would he want to do something if he's all he that's the thing, right? If he's all powerful, he created everything and he had a purpose for everything. Why would he interrupt that purpose?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. What's the point in believe? Like, if he doesn't do anything, he doesn't like he's not involved. there is no punishment, there is no hell, there's reincarnation, like, then what's the point?
I don't know. That's a great question, actually.
Like, this is why, like, I haven't ever been able, like, as an atheist, I've never been convinced of deism, because I'm like, well, what's the point? Whether he's real or not, like, I don't have to believe in him and nothing's gonna change.
I don't.
Shadow, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. How do you know this God exists?
It's not. It's not that I know. It's more that it's a. It's. I guess it's I don't know how to explain it. It's not. It's not that I know. It's more that it's like It. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not quite sure how to explain it.
You know that this God exists, and you also do not know how this God exists?
It's a little bit. It's I don't know. Yeah, it's different because I'm brand new. I'm like, I'm. I guess I'm trying to search for the truth right now, so I'm still a little new to it. I did lose my grandfather like 8 months ago, so I'm still fresh with it. So it's kind of confusing for me, but I guess in a way, yeah, it's just completely confusing for me, and then that's why
Yeah.
this
Well,
stuff
and
is
I'm
lost.
sorry. I'm sorry for your loss, but I kind of want to stick on topic, unless it connects somehow to your God, I guess, in some way. But like, I don't want to be disrespectful, so I just want to keep it on topic. Um, when you're saying you know, but also you don't know, that's kind of breaking, I believe, the second law of logic. Something can't be true and false at the same time. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay, so like contradictions don't exist, right?
No. Yep.
Okay, so if your God is a contradiction by nature, it doesn't exist.
That's the thing. Like I said, I don't know. I have no idea what does and what doesn't. I want to believe that there's something out there, but there's really no. I guess there's really no way of knowing.
You want there to be a God out there.
Yeah, that's one of my. That's why that one exists for me, is because I want one to exist, but I don't want it. I don't believe that he would be as brutal as what the Bible would explain as him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of New Age spiritualists or deists, it's just based off of your feelings, right? I think you're just kind of anthropomorphizing a God into existence, where you want this God to be a lot like you, like a better version, like have goals, have humanity's best interest in mind. I mean, that just sounds like your own like bias.
It's more that this really, like I said, this really started happening when I lost my grandfather, because of how much he's went through during the time when he was unaliving, and it was a very tough time. So yes, I did kind of go into the direction that there could be a God, and hopefully that he's doing good and he's safe, and yeah, so yeah, it's more of a comfort. Yeah.
Okay, but does it make it true?
I say it's true, so it makes me feel better. Yeah.
Okay, if a doctor comes out and says, "I really feel like you have cancer," does that make it true?
Well, you can't. I guess not. No.
Okay, so like the way to truth is not with our feelings, I guess.
Maybe not to everybody, but for me right now it is.
Okay, but it doesn't make it real.
I mean, for some people it might not make it real, but for me right now, yes, it makes it real for now.
Yeah, but if it doesn't exist, then it's not real.
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. The only reason why this is, like I said, this is happening to me is because of what I've seen, and it's not a pleasant sight, and it's just the type of comfort, really makes me feel better. And if it's not real, then that's okay. He's gone. He's gone, not hopefully suffering, and he's resting for the rest of his afterlife. If he's just resting, that's fine too.
Is it possible for you to feel comfort without some deity of the universe out there?
I mean, I guess so. I never really thought of how comfortable it could be if someone passes away, they just go nowhere. I guess that could be.
Wait, can I point something out to you?
Yeah.
You said in your belief that the person gets reincarnated, right?
Yeah.
So either way, you wouldn't see him again, right?
That's right. But
so,
I mean, and that's the thing. Even if
either way, he's not in any pain anymore. And like there's a whole community behind the ones that don't believe in a god. I feel you would do really good in like joining the community. So that way you can find comfort in other people instead of a deity that might not exist.
Yeah. That's true.
If you want, you can always like reach out to me and we can always have a conversation too.
All right. Okay.
And I'll be frank, like I do a lot of arguing and like debating and stuff with like theists and deists and whatever. But like your form of like deism, I guess, isn't really something that like I think any of us are super offended by because again, when it's like a nondescript, like non dogmatic version, it's like, hey man, like if that works for you, cool. But you know what I mean? Because like we're up here with eights, we've been talking to guys about like these horrible things in the Bible, so like we may not necessarily agree, but it's like, hey, okay, cool. Like I'm not gonna come after you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very if you ever want, like we know quite a few like people that would very gladly welcome you with open arms. I have a whole disco and we just like shoot the crap if you would like to join that and have a community behind you. Find comfort on earth instead of believing in a deity that could potentially just not exist.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, and the other thing is the only thing that really matters is if someone is not suffering, right?
Yeah, and he's not suffering anymore.
Yeah.
But you're still here on this earth. It's rough to get over unalivement, and especially with somebody you're close to. But having that community behind you would really help.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, I'll follow you.
Yeah, just message me. I'll send you a link to the disco, and you can join the community.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And by disco, she means a funky dance party.
All right.
Yeah, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. That
No
kind of stuff.
time to talk.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So you guys get some pretty crazy people up here?
Yes.
You don't know the half of it.
I have. Well, he could. I have a
Even
YT
just
web.
today.
Just today?
Actually, yeah,
Yeah,
there's a YT channel you can go to see replays.
Oh, jeez. Okay. My. Yeah, I've been a couple of calls that are very aggressive when they're trying to have a conversation. I was like, why are you so aggressive? Relax.
Yeah, that's just how a lot of them are, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's true. It's
Kind of hard to be. Go ahead, sorry.
sometimes that could be a little nerve wracking because it's like why are you doing that? It's we're just talking. Calm down. Relax.
Well,
That's
as,
that's why you're
as,
on here.
as someone who was on the other side of the fence for quite a long time, I can say, it is kind of, what's the word? You feel painted in the corner when your whole worldview starts getting cornered on you. You know what I mean? It's like if a Christian comes up here and they're like, yeah, my God's all good. And then Ace shows them, something in the Bible where it's like, clearly you have to be an insane person to say, yes, this is good. Like, well, now you're
Yeah.
sitting here as a Christian, you're like, oh my God, like, if I concede to this, my whole worldview falls apart. Like, what am I going to do? Like, everything I've ever known, like, if there's one chink in the armor, then now I'm vulnerable. And so then they just start, like, I understand why they do it, but sometimes they get a little carried away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, like, how can you like? I'm not trying to offend anybody, but how can you feel comfort if there is a hell and there is a heaven, knowing that no matter if you believe or if you don't, if you do a sin, then you're going to hell. It's like, how does that make you feel better? I don't get that. It makes me not feel better. It makes me feel
Yeah.
worse.
It's not a good time.
No, no, not at all.
do you have a couple more guests that are wanting to come up. If you would like to hang out in the chat for a little bit, or if you want to just go ahead and message me, I can send you the link for the disco.
Sure. Okay.
I
Well,
appreciate you.
yeah.
I appreciate you coming up. We definitely needed a palate cleanser.
No problem. Well, thanks for talking.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good night. Day. It's day right now.
It's nighttime
It
somewhere.
is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So much.
All right. Bye.
Appreciate you, Joe. Have a good one.
You too.
Hey Emma, are you over 18?
I'm 18.
Okay.
I don't know if that's not okay with you. Just let me know. I'm totally cool.
18 plus is where we need to be at.
Okay.
Can I get your pronouns, please?
My pronouns, she, her.
In the comments, you said you were a Christian?
Yes, I'm an Orthodox Christian.
Okay. So do you believe your God is all good?
I believe he tries to do the best thing for humanity throughout his actions.
Okay, so do you think he's all-knowing?
I believe he knows, but he doesn't control. Essentially, like, Satan tempts, and if the person decides to commit the sin, he doesn't control that. He lets people have free will, unfortunately.
So what about the laws that were written in the book?
They're there as guidance, he's not going to force someone to follow him. and he's not going to, make you do the laws, of course, but they're there to follow. And again, free will. If a person decides not to follow them, that's their choice. And I would like to clarify as well, I'm not all knowing. I don't know everything. So I'm just trying to give the best answer, that's all.
Do you by any chance know Deuteronomy 22:13-21?
No. Can you please tell me?
So it's talking about a woman's virginity, and if no proof of virginity is found, the woman is to be stoned to unalivement.
Well, that's interesting. Well, the only thing I can think on that is God saved a prostitute from being stoned. He told them, or Jesus, sorry. But anyway, he was saying, if you have not sinned, cast a stone, and nobody could. And
But why did he say that?
Behind that,
he was
the reasoning
he was saying that to essentially say you are all sinners, and if you're casting stones, then you haven't sinned, of course.
The thing is, with that specific passage that you brought up, the man was nowhere around, was he?
The man?
Yes, because it would have been considered adultery.
Prostitution, yes. Well, I mean,
and when it comes to adultery, it has the man and the woman have to be present, not just one or the other. So that way they can both be stoned to unalivement. It wasn't because she was prostituting herself out. It was because the man was not around.
I'm not sure. I can't clarify. All I can say is, from what I interpreted from that, is they were throwing stones at this woman that was by herself because she was a prostitute, and I believe her name was Mary, not the Virgin Mary, but Mary. And he essentially was saying, if you have not sinned, you can cast the stone, and nobody could, of course.
This wasn't Mary Magdalene. This was just an added story. This story wasn't added until this part in John 8 until way, way later. But no, this wasn't Mary Magdalene.
Okay, sorry. I'm just, as I said, I can't tell you for certain everything. I'm not knowledgeable. I'm just trying to say what I might be able to say.
But I would like to just circle back to what Ace said, like this problem in like Deuteronomy 22, 2 Samuel 7, really all of Deuteronomy 22, Jeremiah 19:9, like all these things that God commands that are really bad. Like how do we square with that as far as calling God a good God?
I mean, can you tell me the things that are bad? What have he said? I'm sorry. I want to know what you're clarifying.
Well, you can go back to Deuteronomy 22:13 that she already brought up that specifically says that a woman who doesn't bleed on her wedding night should get stoned until she's unalived.
Of course, that is not ideal.
Especially because not only 46% of women bleed their first time. 54% of women do not because of the hymen.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what causes the blood. The hymen is a very easy tissue to break. You can break it by falling out of a tree, falling down the stairs, lifting up heavy objects, and back then they had to lift up heavy pails of water because that was how they got water, was at the well. So there was a lot of ways that the hymen could break, which means that majority of the women that were being accused would have been virgins, but because they didn't bleed, they were considered to not be virgins, and they would be stoned because of it.
Well, if I can find that passage, I'm sorry, I'm trying to. Well, that is definitely not ideal. What was it? 22.
Deuteronomy 22, 13-21.
13-21. Sorry, my fault. I'm trying to find it.
Okay. You don't have to apologize for trying to fact check.
Yeah, I like to know what I'm reading for sure. Okay.
And I can read it out loud. I've got it pulled up, or if you want to find it, it's 22:13-21.
Yes, that would be nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So suppose a man marries a woman But after going into her, he dislikes her, and he makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I laid with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. So the father of the young woman and the mother shall then submit the evidence of the young woman's virginity to the elders at the city of the gate. The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her. And now he's made up charges against her, saying, I did not find evidence of your daughter's virginity. But here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. So, just a little pre context. In this time when you get married, the father of the bride would set up a room for them to, finalize the marriage and what's the word? Consecrate the marriage in the marriage chamber, and they would lay out this white cloth for them to go into and do the deed on to seal the deal that they're married. And so he takes this cloth and he lays it out, and he says, "But here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity." Then they shall spread the cloth out before the elders of the town. The elders of the town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he slandered a virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife, and he shall not be permitted to divorce her for as long as he lives. Now, if we go to verse 20, if, however, this charge is true that the evidence of the woman's virginity was not found, again, this is blood on that cloth that the father and mother, along with witnesses, laid out for them to go into to consecrate the marriage on. If the evidence of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her to unalivement, because she committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. So you shall purge the evil from your midst.
Okay.
So this is literally saying, like, if she doesn't bleed on the sheet, which again, whether or not her hymen broke previously, whether it didn't break during intercourse with that man the first time she did the deed, or maybe some women are just born without hymens, but for whatever reason she doesn't bleed on that sheet, they lay that sheet out, and now they have a woman who's innocent, and they're only because these are just dudes in the Bronze Age, man. They don't know what hymens are. They don't know how none of this works, and they write this down, and they're like, "Oh, well, there's no blood on that sheet. Well, guess what, boys? Grab some rocks and let's just go throw them at her until she's not alive." But it's also kind of crazy that if the dude lies, they just find him some money and give it to her dad. And now this woman who he doesn't like, who he lied about, he has to stay married to her forever, and he's never allowed to divorce her.
Yeah, that's definitely very unfortunate. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I get your point on that. That's definitely not great.
And it's one of the laws in the book of with 46% of women bleeding and 54% of women not bleeding their first time, that would mean that a lot of innocent women got stoned just because they didn't bleed.
Yeah, yeah, human anatomy, I definitely suppose back in this age we're not seen as as a high thing, I suppose.
Well, and I think Ace's dilemma that she brings up, that this proposes, is that either you have two problems. One, either God knows that not all women don't bleed their first time, and He doesn't care. He's just like, well, if there's some innocent women who get caught in the collateral along the way, then that's just how it has to be to catch the bad ones, and He just doesn't care. Or He doesn't know how it works, because this was probably just written by some dudes in the Bronze Age and not by an all-knowing God.
Well, I don't know how to argue that. I have no argument about that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, but if it's in the book, it's in the book. I have not read this specifically. I'm newer to Christianity and reading, so I haven't gotten to this actually. But the best thing I can say to that is I don't know, honestly. I feel like it's not the greatest punishment for the man to just, if she dies, from a misconception, for him to just be paid. That's not great. But also to be married to someone that you don't like that much, that you accuse for the rest of your life. That
He
may
tried
not
to
be
get her
great either.
unalive. Yeah, he's like, I don't like you so much, I'm gonna lie so that they take you out back and stone you. And then when the evidence is there, he's just stuck with her. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
the
good
best
either.
thing I can say. I guess they're punished in their own ways. Of course, death is not good at all. But also being married to someone you hate may not be great either.
And the thing is, it's not just a punishment for the man if you think about it, because the woman has to stay with somebody who accused her of being a virgin and potentially could have gotten her unalived because of it.
Because now she has no autonomy to leave him.
Okay.
Because during that time period, women were seen as property. I mean, even in the 10th commandment, it listed women as property.
That is true in some regards. I feel like, based on what I've read about marriage, women in the beginning, at least, women were created to be an equal, to why Eve was made, to be an equal to Adam, and to be able to reproduce and make more humans and mankind. And in marriage, they have their certain regards of equality, in some ways. So women were treated bad in some parts of the Bible, but also were some men. For example, Jesus, he was crucified for his belief. So I mean, I feel like in all fairness, I feel like women and men have both been treated poorly in the book.
Well, Jesus was crucified for committing crimes, but that's neither here nor there as to whether or not the book treats women equal to men. Even it tells Eve that like her job is to like after the fall, her job is there to serve Adam. Like she's not there to be an equal to him. She's there to like be under him, and that's
Not only
reinstated in the Old and New Testament.
Not only that, but if we actually look at the story of the Garden of Eden, Eve was never actually told. It was just assumed that she was told. Also, while we're on the topic of the Garden of Eden, what tree did Adam and Eve eat from?
The tree of knowledge. Some
The,
argue it's an apple, argue it's a pomegranate. It's just what it is. It's a fruit.
the name of the tree is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And when we're thinking about it, they would have not had knowledge of good and evil, right? If that's the tree they ate from, which is what showed them the knowledge of good and evil, right?
Yes, they did not realize of their nakedness until after they ate from the tree of wisdom and knowledge.
And with the eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that's when their eyes opened up and they realized the difference between right and wrong. So Adam and Eve would have been kind of like a toddler, would they not have?
I mean, they definitely wouldn't have the capacity to solve world problems, but in the Garden of Eden, there weren't any world problems to solve. They just had to not eat from the fruits. And since they did, unfortunately, they became aware of these the good and evil, and that's why humankind were kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
So the reason why I brought up a toddler is because they don't have knowledge the difference between what good and evil is, right?
Correct.
So when you tell them not to do something, what are they likely going to do?
Well, yes, they're definitely going to commit whatever you tell them not to do.
Because they wouldn't know the difference, and they have to learn it themselves, right?
Correct.
So with this being said, you tell two people that was made not to know the difference between what good and evil is in a garden, and you tell them not to do something, and then, the snake appears, and Eve doesn't know the difference. Eve doesn't even know. It's just assumed she was told. But the snake goes, well, yeah, I mean, but you're not going to unalive like he said. He's scared. What are they going to do?
Well, I would like to say that Eve did say we're not supposed to eat, so she did know. But as a toddler, if they commit if they do an act, of course, as the parent, you're going to react or punish, unfortunately, in some regards. And they knew their consequence of departure from the Garden of Eden and decided to
Did
eat
he
anyway.
ever say they would be kicked out of the garden
They did say
before it happened?
they did say death
Or
upon.
was it
Said that they would unalive.
Yes, he said they would unalive.
What did he
but
say
it wasn't
specifically?
1 second. Let me get to that
On the
page.
day that you eat of it, you shall surely unalive.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he said that.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Ace. Sorry.
1 second. I'm trying to find the word
Be Genesis 2 and Genesis 3.
Genesis 2. Let me find it. Sorry, 1 second.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, Genesis 2:17. But of the tree of knowledge and good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall surely unalive.
Yes, Eve says to the serpent, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die.
It's kind of like a mother and a father, right? One says you can do it, one says you can't. Which one are you going to listen to? The one who said you can, or the one who said you can't?
I mean, now I wouldn't be sure. Like if my mother and father were telling me two separate things, I wouldn't be sure what to act upon.
Okay, let's say it's a toddler, right? And it's a piece of candy, and one says you can and one says you can't. You can eat it, one says you can't eat it. Which one are you going to listen to?
I'm probably going to listen to the one that does tell me to do so. Sorry.
And Adam and Eve were like toddlers because they didn't know the difference between right and wrong.
Yes.
So one tells you can, the other one tells you can't. So they're going to listen to the one who says you can eat it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Wait, what? I'm sorry. I'm zoning out.
If we just look at verse 4 really quick, but the serpent said, so this is after Eve just says what God said. She doesn't say we're not allowed. She just says, well, God said this. And then Satan, or the serpent, sorry, it's not Satan, the serpent. But the serpent said to the woman, you will not unalive, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and that you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Which is exactly what happened when they ate it, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit, she ate it, and she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Then both their eyes were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made loincloths for themselves. So literally exactly what the serpent told her would happen happened. The serpent was the honest one in this whole escapade here. God told them a lie. God said on the day you eat of it that you'll unalive, and they didn't. But exactly what the serpent said would happen. But again, Eve looked at it and said, oh, well, then it's okay to eat because they don't know right from wrong yet. They don't know that what Ace is trying to say is that they don't know that disobeying God is a bad thing yet because they don't have the knowledge of good and evil within them yet. They didn't understand what they did was wrong and was a transgression against God until they ate the fruit. So you have two problems. One, well, they didn't know right from wrong, and like, how can you deceive somebody who doesn't even know that the deception is a bad thing in the first place? And secondly, why the hell did God let this serpent in the garden to begin with, knowing that they don't know right from wrong?
I can't answer those questions. I really don't know.
Could it potentially be that the book was written to make women seem like the bad guy?
I don't believe so. I don't believe the book is trying to make women bad. At least
Well,
in
It
my
minimizes a
considering
little.
like in some regards, like the Virgin Mary, she gave birth to one of the most important, if not the most important thing to my religion. You know, she's an icon in my if you don't know what an icon is, it's essentially, you know, one of the prophets or an important piece of Christianity that you thank, and that's big for us. And I see a lot of the things women do in our book very crucial to our religion and to what we believe.
how many women are left unnamed?
I could not tell you, but I know a couple of the books are named after women. I know Ruth. What's the other one? 1 second. I know at least Ruth. I was watching a video today about anyway. But at least a couple of the books are about women. And some of the men are also unnamed.
Most of the men have names, though. Even like when it comes to the
Just Ruth and Esther.
lying.
Yeah, Ruth
Yes.
Esther, sorry. Yeah,
Well, for you, maybe Judas
Even
because you're Orthodox, but anyway.
that's true.
the thing is, when it comes down to it, there's 2 books named after females. Yeah, women, yes, but most of the women in the Bible don't have names. Whereas, like when it comes to the lines, both of them are about Joseph, and it very specifically says Joseph. But there's nothing about Mary in her line. There's also the fact that, like, do you know the story of Jephthah's daughter?
I'm not sure. I may or may not have read that, but forgot. Just
Yeah, I'll read it to you. Give me just a second. I gotta pull it up.
Take your time. Don't worry.
So Judges 11. Let me find it.
29 through 40.
Yeah, it's at the end. So 29. Let's see. Yeah, 29. Then the spirit of the. I'm gonna put on my. I used to be a pastor, by the way. I'll put on my pastor voice for this one. No, I'm not gonna do that because it's embarrassing. Then the spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah. Weird. And he passed through Gilead and Manasseh. He passed up to Mitzvah of Gilead, and from Mitzvah of Gilead he passed on to the Ammonites. And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord, and he said, "If you will give the Ammonites into my hand, then whatever comes out of the doors of my house to meet me when I return victorious from the Ammonites shall be the Lord's, to be offered up by me as a burnt offering." So Jephthah crossed over to the Ammonites to fight against them, and the Lord gave them into his hand. He inflicted a massive defeat for them from the Aror to the neighborhood of Minnith, 20 towns, and as far as the Abel Karim, so that the Ammonites were subdued before the Israelites. So Jephthah went in, whooped ass, and got rid of all the Ammonites. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jephthah came to his home at Mitzvah, and there was his daughter coming out to meet him with timbrels and with dancing.
Oh, yes.
This makes me cry, by the way, when I read this. So if I start crying, I'm sorry. She was his only child. He had no son or daughter except her. When he saw her, he tore his clothes and said, "Alas, my daughter, you have brought me very low. You have become the cause of great trouble to me. For I opened my mouth to the Lord, and I cannot take back my vow." She said to him, "My father, if you have opened your mouth to the Lord, do to me according to what has gone out of your mouth, now that the Lord has given you vengeance against your enemies, the Ammonites." And she said to her father, "Let this thing be done for me. Grant me 2 months so that I may go and wander on the mountains and bewail my virginity, my companions and I." "Go," he said. And he sent her away for 2 months. So she departed, she and her companions, and bewailed her virginity on the mountains. At the end of 2 months, she returned to her father, who did with her according to the vow that he had made. She had never slept with a man, so there arose an Israelite custom that for 4 days every year the daughters of Israel would go out and lament the daughter of Jephthah the Gileadite.
His daughter never even got a name.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely hard to read.
His daughter never got a name, and she was used as a burnt offering.
Mhm.
And there's more stories like that. There's so many stories that I could bring up, but
2 Samuel 7, Jeremiah 19:9. I've got a whole list.
I do too. I feel like with Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21, the story of Adam and Eve, Jephthah's daughter, all three of them, it is something happening to women to put them down. And it's a
And I'd like,
constant thing that happens over and over again in this book.
and Emma, I'd like to point out when you brought up that Adam and Eve were made to be equals. As I said in Genesis 3, if you go to verse 16, when you get the curse of the woman, to the woman he said, I will make your pains in childbirth exceedingly great. In pain you shall bring forth children, yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you.
Mm.
They weren't said to be equals even from the jump.
At least with the marriage things that I've read, more towards the middle, I could try and find a couple, but what I can say is, at least what I read about, women and husbands, it's supposed to be equal, as well as like them being conjoined as one flesh, as well as the fact of like, oh, sorry.
How do you pick what you read?
I don't. I am trying to read what my priest tells me to read, also watching videos, and it's taking me a while to get through the book because I have a lot of work I've been doing. But I'm just...
Okay, so it's priest, and I'm guessing more Christian-leaning videos?
I watch biased and biased videos.
So, can I recommend you watch somebody who's been going through the Bible? His name's Joel. He has a YT channel called Joel Reads Bible.
He reads the Bible?
He does. And
oh my goodness.
Priests and pastors are going to very specifically point out good verses, and they're going to try to ignore the bad ones.
Okay. You can send me whatever you like. I followed you. I only have like 34 seconds, so I just want to say that. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna look more into the Bible. I'm just debating so I can learn more. I've been debating with a couple people just so I can learn things. But I thank you for your wisdom. I'll watch whatever you send. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for also being respectful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I followed you. Yeah, I'll watch your lives. Thank you.
Emma, when you drop down, if you have anything to like take notes on, I've got. I know we harped on the Old Testament a lot, but I have a lot of New Testament verses. If you want stuff for women being subservient to men, if you want to look those up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can look whatever. I'm not going to deny whatever's in the Bible or what the facts are. I'm just debating to learn more, and I thank you for your knowledge, and just send me whatever you got. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming up. Oh, I will message you a couple names for you to look into.
Perfect. Thank you. I respect your opinion. I don't know everything, of course, and thank you for being respectful to me.
Of course.
All right.
You were respectful So
Thank you. I try to be. But thank you and have a
Best
blessed day.
guest of the day. Thank you.